Hey guys, welcome to Art 2. If you're new to the channel, this channel is about helping you sell your art online through print-on-demand platforms like Redbubble, Society6, and a few other platforms that we discuss on the channel. And in today's video, I actually have a masterclass for you on Redbubble. Now, a lot of you have been asking for a more comprehensive video on Redbubble, A to Z of how to be successful on this platform and make more passive income. Now, I've been on Redbubble for a few years now, and I've got to the point where I'm making passive income. I don't even worry about the platform anymore. I have enough designs on there that I'm generating sales every day, and that it supports me in a financial way that I never thought would be the case a few years ago when I started on that platform. And I say that not to show off, but to motivate you guys that things take time and that you can make money on this platform. So the first thing you need to do if you're setting up shop on the Redbubble platform is to actually set up a shop. So let me just discuss some of the topics we're going to go through in this video. We're going to talk about setting up your shop, uploading designs, tags and descriptions, marketing, margins, and continually getting passive income on this platform. Now, like I said, the first thing you need to do is actually get onto the platform. So if you haven't done that already, you have to set up an account on Redbubble. It's pretty easy, pretty quick, and all you have to do is provide a way for them to pay you, which is usually through PayPal, and that should take care of you having a business online in just a couple minutes. So once you have your store set up on Redbubble, you want to customize the store with your banner, your profile picture, and you want to pick a name that's comfortable for you. So it could be your brand name if you don't want to use your personal name, or if you're already an artist online and have a social media following, then you might want to use your real name or whatever name you go by online. So once you have your store set up, you can also set up different categories for different collections. So you got to think about the type of art that you're putting up onto the site and how you're going to categorize those in the collections. So if you're doing art about cars or transportation, pets, animals, typography, you can set those up in collections, and that helps you when people come to your shop. They have these different collections that they can look at, and if they like the style of art that you're creating, they have a few different options of things that they can purchase from you. Now, the thing about setting up shop on the Redbubble platform is that once you have that shop set up, how are people finding you? So people are coming to this website from various sources. Mostly it's from search traffic or from social media. If you've ever typed in Redbubble into a search engine, you're probably going to see the Redbubble advertisements on your social media feed. So they'll show up in Instagram posts, they'll show up in Facebook. So people find Redbubble mostly through search. So once that is identified as one of the main sources of your traffic, you want to make sure that you're optimizing everything that you can to drive traffic to your store. Now, once you set up shop, nobody knows that it's there. It's basically just sitting on the Redbubble platform, and the only way people find your shop is if you have designs. So that's why I suggest before you even hit the create an account button, you want to have at least 20 designs that you've already completed and are ready to upload to the site. Once you're ready to upload those designs to the site, all you need to do is hit the upload button, pick the design that you want to put on a product, and then you'll see that you have your item on a whole bunch of different products on the Redbubble platform. Now, the more things you have enabled, the more chances you have of making sales on this platform. So that's why it's really extremely important that you take a look at each single item that your design has gone onto and make sure that you're optimizing the design, that it looks the way that it should on that particular item. You'll find that sometimes with the postcards and some t-shirts, the size of your image just doesn't fit that design properly, and that means that when a person goes to try to buy that item, they notice that there might be some white lines on the side of the postcards, or that the t-shirt has like a white little cutoff at the bottom. It's not completely filling in the shirt with the design. So you got to take a look at all the different elements of the uploader and make sure that you're optimizing everything. You can zoom in or zoom out your design to fill in that product. So play around with the uploader when you get onto the Redbubble platform. So one thing I constantly talk about on the channel is the number of uploads and why it's important to be consistent in the number of uploads, and why you want to have at least 100 designs uploaded to Redbubble. Now here's the thing, if you only have one design uploaded to Redbubble, that means that if customers come to the website, the chances of your one design being found amongst the hundreds of thousands of other designs that are on Redbubble are pretty small. So you want to increase your chances of being seen by more eyeballs, and that means you have to have more designs. If you have at the beginning, say 20 designs to start your shop. If somebody comes to your shop and they see that one design, they might come across some of your other designs and like your work and purchase something. So by having at least 20 designs when you first start out, that gives your customers something to look at if they come into your shop and a variety of different designs that they can pick from. Once you get established on Redbubble and you start to be able to focus more on the platform, then you want to aim to have at least 100 designs. And it could be variations of some of the things that you've already created, maybe change out colors or tags, things along those lines, but you want to have 100 designs. That means that out of the hundreds of thousands of other designs on the website, you have at least 100 solid designs that people are going to find on Redbubble. As time goes on, you want to keep increasing the number of designs that you have on the site. And this really improves the ability of getting sales. If you want to get consistent sales, the more things that you have on Redbubble, the more chances you're going to get sales. And don't forget, when you upload, that you want to enable as many products as possible, because the more things that your designs show up on, the better the chance that you're going to get a sale. So if you look at people who just do stickers, that's great. If you're getting a lot of sticker sales, that's great. But that design could be used on a different product. And if you had enabled it on some other products, you could be seeing sales come in on higher margin items. And that would make you more money than just sticking to the sticker sales and not having any other products to sell on. So it's important to focus on uploading. It's important to focus on what you're uploading. Now, one thing that I would also recommend is if you have designs that you're not too sure of and you're thinking about it, maybe have a friend or family member take a look and see what they think of your design. Maybe there's something that you can tweak. By having a second set of eyes looking at your designs, there's the possibility that you could have changed something and gotten more sales if you'd listened to a friend or family member. So it's always good to get a second opinion on some of the designs that you're uploading, or you can go back in even after you've uploaded it and found that maybe there was something else that you wanted to change. You can change out the image and create something different from that image. So there's no set in stone with Redbubble that once you upload something to the site, it's there forever. You can delete it or tweak it whenever you want. So those are some of the things that I've been doing over the long stretch. So uploading consistently, making sure that the designs that I am uploading are to the best quality that I can make them. Make sure that if I upload something that I have a second opinion to see if there's something better that I can be doing. And following those simple little things, you'd be surprised how many sales start to come in on Redbubble once you're consistent with uploads. Uploads are the most important thing, because without having any products on the site, if you don't have any designs on the site or very limited designs, you're not going to see consistent sales. So stay focused, keep uploading, and aim for those first 100 designs, and you'll start seeing sales. I guarantee it. So hey guys, if you're liking this type of content, I hope that you can hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and if you hit the like button, you help us get found in the YouTube algorithm. So let's get back to the masterclass and talk about a few other things that help you get sales on Redbubble. So the next thing we're going to discuss is actually the title, the description, and the tags. Those three things work together. So basically that's how a search engine is going to find your design. Now keep in mind that search engines cannot tell what a design is based just on the design. They need words to be able to index your design and be able to send traffic over to that design. So that means the better you are at describing what your design is about, the more traffic is going to come to your design and the more money you're going to make overall. So what happens if you designed, say, a picture or design of a sailboat, and you just put sailboat for your title, your description, and your tags, and nothing else? Most likely is there going to be thousands of other results that are going to come up ahead of yours, things that have indexed and been optimized for search engines, and they are going to perform better than your design or your tag because they have more details and trust. So you're not going to be found in search if you don't do these few things. So here's what we're doing. We're going to add a title that describes what that item is. We're going to add a description that describes what is happening in the scene or design. And we're also going to add tags, because tags are extremely important when it comes for search engines and knowing what your design is about. So when you have those three things, for example, now that sailboat, instead of just being sailboat, it might be a blue sailboat. So you're going to put that in the tags and description and titles. And now when Google, somebody goes in there and search for a blue sailboat, that is most likely going to come up because it's pretty unique. Okay, it's a blue sailboat, and maybe that's not going to come up right away because there might be other people with blue sailboats. So maybe you can put something else in that describes that. And all of a sudden, the small amount of traffic that might be looking for those particular keywords start to flow through to your design. And that's when you get sales, is when people discover your design and it actually matches what they were searching for. So that's why you want to use those 3 tools to be as descriptive as you can to get the search engines to notice you and to get sales that way. Now, I found that when I started to really put some work into my tags, descriptions, and titles, that sales did start happening for some of those items that never sold, because now there were more chances that people were going to find me in search because I really narrowed it down to what the design was about. And that's something that you got to keep in mind when you're creating content for Redbubble, is that you need to tell the search engines what you are designing. And another thing to keep in mind is that most of the traffic that goes to Redbubble does not come from within the site. So what I mean is that most people are not typing in redbubble.com and going straight to the site and doing the search there. They're coming in through search engines and advertising that Redbubble has placed on these search engines. And then with Facebook and Instagram and some of the other social networks, they tie in with what you've searched in Google. So you'll find sometimes you'll type in a search in Google, and then all of a sudden you start seeing ads on those other platforms. They all work together. Don't ask me how, but they do. So what happens is then, if a person searches for your blue sailboat on Google and then they go over to their Instagram account or Facebook, they'll start seeing ads from Redbubble for those things. And most likely yours might pop up and you might be able to get traffic from those sources to your listing, and then all of a sudden you made a sale. So that's why it's important to make sure that you're using your tags, descriptions, and title that is appropriate to the design. Because when you do that, you're increasing your chances of being found by search engines, by being fed to advertising networks that tie into Google. All these things are happening in the background that are going to bring traffic to your design. Okay, so we covered how to get found through search engines using tags, titles, and descriptions. But the other thing that you can do to increase your chances of making more sales on Redbubble is if you already have a social media presence. We've already talked about this in a few other videos. And this masterclass was actually just a recap of some of the best tips that I've been able to give you guys in other videos and put it all into one for those of you who are just starting out and don't want to go back to the older videos and get all that information. It's all in this one video. But the thing is that if you already have a social media presence and people know that you are selling art and you promote your art, you can set a link back to your store for whatever design that you would like. And if somebody finds it through your social media profile and clicks through there, they can purchase that. The chance too is that the person could click through to get to your store, but eventually start searching through the Redbubble platform and end up buying from someone else. So there is that thing where if you don't control your own platform, if you don't have your own website, your own print-on-demand platform, you can take the chances that you're sending traffic back to Redbubble and people are ending up on other people's stores and buying their designs. But it's a fair chance to take. You can still make money if you have a large enough following that some people will go to Redbubble. And I see a lot of famous YouTubers that do art using Redbubble as a platform to send traffic to and make sales. Now, another thing that you can make money, just a side note for you guys, is if you have a website or presence online, you can sign up for the affiliate account through Redbubble. And if anybody buys anything through the Redbubble platform, not necessarily just your designs, you can get a little commission, a kickback for sending the traffic over to Redbubble. So that's something to keep in mind if you already have a presence online. So as far as marketing goes, if you already have a social media presence with Facebook, with Instagram, maybe TikTok. So if you already have a social media presence and you send traffic back to your designs, you're increasing the chances that somebody will buy something for you. And some of the platforms that people use to send traffic back to their store would be Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and you can also set a Pinterest account. Pinterest is another popular way of getting people back to Redbubble. You can set different categories, like say you want to sell t-shirts, you can set up a pin just for t-shirts. You can set up one for cushions. You can set up all sorts of different pins for the different products that are available through Redbubble. And by having them in Pinterest, people can find those designs, click back to them, and you can also advertise your Pinterest account if you have your designs on there. Again, I don't recommend that because sometimes you're sending traffic to Redbubble and people end up buying from other sellers. So you just want to make sure that you have your traffic controlled. Basically, you want to know that the traffic that you're sending to Redbubble is going to look at your items and it's not going to cost anything. So if there's a cost involved in advertising to send traffic over to Redbubble, I probably would stay away from that, because the chances are that you're going to pay for a campaign that's going to bring traffic to Redbubble, but not necessarily bring you the sales that you want to see through the platform. So when it comes to marketing, you have to think outside the box sometimes when it comes to creating a campaign for your Redbubble designs. So I would start with my social media accounts and start telling people about a design or work that I'm going to be uploading to the platform, and bring some interest to those designs. So I would tell people that it's going to be a limited time. Maybe I'm going to take it off Redbubble after a week or two, depending on what the sales might be. And you can create some sort of demand for that design. If people know that it's only going to be available on the platform for a few weeks or a few days, then that traffic going over to the Redbubble platform knows that they have to take action to purchase that item right away, or else it's not going to be there for them. So there's different things, different techniques that you can use to market your designs on the Redbubble platform. You just have to be a little bit creative and think outside the box when it comes to things like that. I do like the fact that with Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, it's free advertising. Basically, people have already gone to your profile, they've already found you, and you're basically letting a large audience of people know that you have something available for them without having to make an investment in paying for advertising. And if you grow your social media presence, you can continue to build on that and have the traffic go back to your site. As new people discover you, sometimes they'll go back to older posts and be able to get that design from you. So keep that in mind, that social media is a really good way of building up an audience for your Redbubble products, and that it does bring in traffic that converts into sales, because people are familiar with you, they like you, and they want to be able to support you with purchasing a design from you. It works for a lot of YouTubers, so I think it could work for various social media platforms, and I think you guys should try it out if you do have a following. So one of the things that was most difficult for me to really understand and want to play with was the margins. And the reason being is that when I first started on Redbubble, I was afraid that if I increased the margins and they were too high, that I would lose out on sales. And my theory was that basically there were other similar designs, other t-shirts and things that looked sort of the same as my design, and that if someone saw the other one and it was marked lower, they would end up buying that one instead of my design, and I would lose out on the commission completely. So basically, I stayed away from playing with the margin for a while. Once I was comfortable that I was getting sales from certain designs and that I continuously saw these items selling, I decided to play around with the margins a little bit. I didn't go crazy and increase the margins so high that it would definitely be noticeable when somebody's comparing prices, but I did increase them enough to make some extra money off these sales. And when you add it up at the end of the month, just tweaking a bit of the pricing for higher margins can make a huge difference in the amount of money that you receive at the end of the month on the Redbubble platform. So I would recommend that before you play around with the margins, that you first understand what you're selling, what items have continuously, and once you understand what is selling, you can tweak the margins a little bit and set them a little bit higher to see if you can make some more profit off the popular items that you're selling in your store. A lot of people do that for the stickers. At first they feel that maybe if they price their stickers too high, people won't buy them. But then I realized that people are actually buying the design and not necessarily looking at the price. If somebody likes your design and they want that particular design, they're willing to pay a little bit more for something that they want. And that's the frame of thinking that you have to be in when you set the margins. You have to think that people aren't necessarily looking that they want to buy the cheapest t-shirt on Redbubble. They obviously came there looking for certain designs that interest them, and they know that that certain design might cost them a little bit more on one product versus another, but that's something that the consumer is willing to do, is pay a little bit more for that item. So playing with the margins is something that I recommend that you sort of slowly graduate from one margin to another. So basically what you're doing is tweaking it just slightly, seeing if it sells, then tweak it again, and do this spaced out by, say, a couple weeks or a month apart, and see if it makes any difference in your sales. So you can kind of have an idea if you're actually losing sales because you increase the margin. But for most people, if you just increase it slightly, you won't notice any difference in the number of sales that you're getting, and you're actually making more money off each individual item, which is a good thing at the end of the month. So I really recommend that you play with the margins and tweak it to your particular liking, because you will make more money and you don't have to be set at the base rate that Redbubble sets for you when you log on to the platform and set up your account. So definitely play with those margins and see if it works for you by tweaking and going in and changing the margins on products that you see continuously sell in your shop. So Redbubble could become a source of passive income, and it's a great source of passive income. There's months that I make a lot of money on Redbubble. There's other months that I have hardly any sales. So I don't consider Redbubble as a full-time income. I never will, and I never could, because there's just too many variables that I cannot control. And if you require a certain amount of money each month to live on, Redbubble might not be the best platform to do that on a consistent basis. I mean, it is a great source of income when it's passive, and you know that once in a while you're getting sales and you're getting a certain amount of money from this website. But if you're depending on it to be your full income, that's a mistake. And there's not too many Redbubble artists that actually can say that they are full-time on Redbubble. There are times when you make a lot of sales on the platform, like during holidays and things along those lines. But throughout the year, there are also slow times, and you don't want to depend on this source of income as your only source. So this is why I try to have various passive income sources where I know I make a certain amount of money every month from one source or another, and then overall I might have the amount of money that I need to live on. But this is definitely something that's scary for a lot of people, and I don't recommend that you make this type of income as your main source unless you see that after a long period of time that you're consistently hitting the amount of money that you need to live off, and that might work out for you. But it's a very rare case, and from a lot of artists that we talk to, I have not seen that many that have gone full-time on Redbubble and are making an income that would be the equivalent of a full-time job. So let's think of that for a second when you think about the income that you're expecting from your Redbubble business. Now, it's safe to say that if you have a lot of designs on the site, that it's potentially $100 to $1,000 a month for most artists that they are getting off the site. If you're getting under that, it's still great. Every once in a while, if you have $20, $13, $14, whatever it might be, that's additional money that you didn't have. So if you put that in a savings account or do something else with it, then at least you had some income that you didn't really have to do much. Once you've uploaded that design, it continuously makes money for you, even if it's a small amount. But for those making $100 to $1,000, that becomes a little bit more substantial, and it's a lot of fun to see your design selling where you're making that type of profit each month. So that's just something that I want you to keep in mind if you think you're going into being a Redbubble artist and making a full-time income from the site. I really don't think that might happen, and that you should consider having other sources of revenue, be it other platforms like Society6, Printify, selling on eBay, Etsy, your designs. You want to have something other than a Redbubble. And don't forget that if you also put all your eggs in one basket and Redbubble for some reason bans your account, there goes all your income and you don't have any other source of income other than that Redbubble account. So it's always good to have additional sources of income and treat your passive income as exactly that, where each flow is coming in. You never know what it's going to be, and you have to prepare that one month it might be less and sometimes it could be higher, but that you're always aware that you're not dependent on whatever that income is for your living or for your expenses. This is a nice side hustle that you can make some extra money, and treat it at that at the beginning. If you're making over $1,000 on Redbubble, you're doing really well, and that's a small percentage of the artists that are on this platform. So think about that, and I hope you do make over $1,000, and that some of the tips that you found in this masterclass will lead you to get to more sales and to getting to those types of amounts of money that you might want to be making on this platform. So keep believing that there are people out there that are going to buy your designs, because they are. The people are going to find your designs. And wrapping up this masterclass, I just want you guys to really focus on uploading the best quality work that you can to Redbubble or other platforms that you might be working with, and to know that it's a tough business to start with, but when you have the tools and the knowledge to make it work, you start to see sales, and you will start to get some passive income from this platform. And it takes time, but it does happen. And if you like this type of content, I hope that if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, that you'll hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and if you hit that notification bell, you'll know when the next video goes up. So we're constantly putting up content on how to use print on demand to make extra money. And if you like that type of content, I hope you'll join us in the next video. Until then, keep uploading, and we'll see you guys next time.